with a singular pursuit. That singular pursuit being that of profitable growth. What happens? You know, that's what Pop would always say. You know, if your business isn't growing, something is seriously wrong. That's very true. So you're not going to grow every year, but in the long term, I want you to grow. You want to grow? Let's get focused. Let's get some clarity of purpose. If you were to isolate one or two key challenges for this next 12-month period, just one or two, that's going to keep you busy, I'm sure. This brings me to the magnificent number 7. Is a descriptor of what I call the A players. It was 1 week later when we got a new chief operating officer. He came down the hallway. Mr. Bunker said, "Black, you've got some deadwood." And I said, "Sir?" And after a long, awkward pause, he says, "You've got people who are not pulling their weight." And so what I did is I had a growth summit. We brought every field engineer out of the field. We had 240 people at that point in time. We brought them all to one location with one goal in mind. We said, we want you to present to the rest of us who your customers are, why they're your best customers, and what you're going to do to have more best customers next year. Just those 3 things. And for 3 days, we went through presentation after presentation, right? 5 to 7 minute presentation. You started to realize what you needed to look at. And it turns out that we had about 7% of our players at MACOM accounted for 84% of our growth. Now, we had great salespeople that could take orders, and we had great salespeople, you know, that could do customer service, and we had great salespeople that could expedite. I mean, that's all they were doing is expediting. Customers happy, the factory's happy, but we weren't growing. You have got to find your magnificent 7% and make sure that you listen to them. Make sure you don't get in their way, and make sure you find some more of them, because this is the first question I want you to ask your sales and or distributors. It works in a channel as well. You got to be a little gentler. You know the reasons why. But it works in a distribution channel as well. Who are your top 5 customers? Now, if you get lackluster Larry's look, you know you probably don't have a 7%er here, right? Now, after the shock wears off and you hear some numbers, you hear some names, ask question number 2. Why are they your top 5? Now, you're going to learn whether or not they're their top 5 because they're the closest ones to their home. Or, well, you know, they used to go to school with this guy. Or, you know, I like the way they're fun to do business with. They're my favorites. What we're listening for, of course, is not favorites. We're listening for growth opportunities. Why are they your top 5? You know, they're my top 5 because they are a cash cow and they are a rising star in marketing terms. We see good things for these people in the future. 2 questions can get you way down this road. The third question is really a question that will tell you the difference between a person who totally understands their industry and somebody like me that's faking it. Oh, did I say that? I did. Okay. You see, if you totally know your industry, you not only know your customers, you know your customers' customers. Now dwell on that just for a second. Why is that important to know your customer's customer? Anyone? How else can you add value? How can you show your customer compelling value unless you know what your customer is trying to do for their customer? Question number 4. Where's the growth potential? Where's the growth potential? And I like to handle growth target markets like 5-card draw. I like to work my 3 primary markets, or my cash cow markets, and I like to work one that's kind of, well, maybe a little bit risky, but there's high growth potential. And then I like to fish, just fish, just look for a new one all the time. So I always want my sales team to be working 5-card draw, right? 3 solid markets, 3 solid target markets, 3 solid companies, 3 solid industries. And then one that, you know, could have high return, and then one, just keep fishing, just keep fishing. And we constantly upgrade that hand. Because you know what, there's nobody. This is the last message I like to drive home to my sales team in all situations. Growth is uniquely the sales team's job.